The socio-economic and political-cultural makeup of a given country is not something left only for government structures. The entire public and citizens elsewhere in the world have a role to play in the making of their nation. That is why the government in Ethiopia is streamlining the involvement of its diaspora in the transformation of the country. With particular emphasis to the past decade, the official remittance flow from the Ethiopian diaspora has exceeded the revenue collected in the form of foreign direct investment or official development assistance. The finding is based on a study conducted by the UN Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, in consultation with the government of Ethiopia. The fact that diaspora remittance has outweighed FDI or ODA is a proof for the growing determination of the diaspora to put their fingerprints in the revitalization of Ethiopia. The report by UNCTAD has suggested the need to revise the diaspora policy to fully harness the potential of Ethiopians abroad. With the aim to maintain the track record and discuss policy alternatives, a high-level policy dialogue has been staged in Addis Ababa last week. Over the last decade, the policy discourse on the link between migration and development in general and the role of the diaspora in economic development in particular has caught the attention of host and origin countries. Governments on both ends of the migration pole, international development agencies, and the diaspora members themselves increasingly recognize the importance of the diaspora's engagement with their countries of origin and are looking for ways to develop and foster this engagement. Indeed, in the case of Ethiopia, the government has made significant strides in the past decade to reinvigorate diaspora engagement back home. To make their involvement more practical, the government set up Diaspora Engagement Affairs Directorate in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 2002 and issued Diaspora Policy in 2013.
The Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia formulated a Diaspora Policy in 2013 with the purpose of creating a more conducive environment to extend constructive roles played by the diaspora. The initiatives as stipulated in the policy are aimed at fully engage the diaspora in the overall peace, development, and democratic endeavors of their country of origin and addressing challenges inhibiting their full participation. It is believed that the diaspora policy is better implemented with the participation of the governmental, non-governmental organizations and with active participation of the diaspora community.
It shows also the attention that the government has given to diaspora. Rightly so, because with such robust contribution to the national economy, having a diaspora policy is not an option. This is really something that the government has taken forward.
However, the country cannot fully harness the potential of its estimated 3 million diaspora all over the globe. With this understanding, the Ethiopian government, in partnership with UNCTAD, carried out a comprehensive study how to enhance the role of the diaspora in the country's economy. According to UNCTAD, members of Ethiopian diaspora can contribute significantly to the country's growth.
Countries that made a huge, took a huge advantage of the diaspora population are countries that do not actually consider remittances as an important element in their own diaspora policies. They focus on investment, portfolio investment, direct investment, the transfer of knowledge and information and technology, the skills, trained human. These are the issues that bring is lasting and sustainable changes on the ground, on the economy of the nation.
The launch of the Ethiopian diaspora policy in June 2013 is a major milestone to the development of diaspora policy instruments over the last 10 years. Prior to the launch, the government's policies consisted of an array of discrete policy instruments, such as the introduction of the Ethiopian Origin Identity Card and economic and investment-related incentives. The UNCTAD report reveals that Ethiopia, through its diaspora policy, has managed to increase remittance over the past few years.
This is the most comprehensive study that UNCTAD has undertaken on linking remittances to development. In the case of Ethiopia, actually remittances to the account, more than 200% of foreign direct investment to the country, more than 250% of official development assistance that Ethiopia gets from its development partners, from the developed countries. What this tells us actually is, even when we compare the remittances with the trade flow, the export of Ethiopia, I think remittances today account more than 90% of Ethiopia's export earnings, which is by all standards, by any stretch of the imagination, the largest contribution economically that the diaspora is making, or migrant workers generally are making to their home country or country of origin. So basically, in the Ethiopian case, even these estimates are based on the official transfer of remittances. These are bank-based transfers, basically. If we count non-official, which is not a small proportion, the magnitude could be much higher than what we have been speaking. What we provided now in the study is only though the remittances, the amount of money that Ethiopians abroad remitted to their country officially.
In terms of investment, 19% of the diaspora engagement is around Addis Ababa and 91% concentrated on service and construction sectors, the report stated. The report recommends the importance of developing an up-to-date and comprehensive database of the Ethiopian diaspora, in particular diaspora knowledge and business networks, in order to develop evidence-based diaspora policies and initiatives.
Combining the coherence of these three with norm setting, enabling environment and operational policy is very important. And the diaspora policy in Ethiopia now is very strong on the norm setting, but the enabling environment, enabling policies needs improvement, needs to be coherent with the norm setting. When you come up with policy, like a diaspora policy, you have to know your diaspora, and that's very important. At the moment, we believe that many of the policies that are included in the diaspora policy of 2013 are based on assumptions, estimates. So one of the things we're proposing is mapping the diaspora is absolutely essential.
Officials from diaspora sections of all state and city administrations have presented diaspora-related activities in the high-level policy dialogue organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with UNCTAD. The representatives underlined that the high-level dialogue is of paramount importance to utilize diaspora resources at the respective states.
From this dialogue and study, we have understood that the key role of the diaspora members, especially in remittance, skill and technology transfer, and investment and trade, at the same time public image building. Therefore, these findings are very important for our region, especially in order to promote the diaspora engagement throughout the region. Especially, the diasporas have a great role in skill and technology transfer.
We will just give more awareness to the sector, especially for the Diaspora Coordination Office. We will give them more knowledge just to make and to work or to play a role in order to receive diaspora or to come in the region and contribute in the country development through remittance, knowledge and technology transfer and investment in the region.
If the government comes up with policy alternatives and keep the diaspora momentum, it is pretty sound to mobilize more and more diaspora resources ahead.